One of the things that I always have noticed is that people are saying, how can I be setting 10 or 20 meetings a week? But the reality is if you really look at what top performing salespeople are doing, it often comes down to really setting just 5 good sales meetings a week. And so for this conversation, we have Michael Moynihan with Linked Conversions to really help us talk through what can salespeople be doing to set 5 strong sales meetings each week. So Michael, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Mark.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to have you here, and I really want to talk about tactical strategies. So what would you say is at least one way that salespeople can really be setting those 5 great meetings, or ultimately 1 good meeting per day?
Yeah, and I think this goes down to really just understanding your customer demographic, right? Sit down and understand who you're targeting. Saying it's just founders. Within LinkedIn, if you're doing a sales navigator search of, company size of 1 to 10 employees and software is not enough.
Yeah.
Right. It's too broad.
Yeah.
So the more specific you can get on your targeting, the more that allows you to get more targeted in your messaging as well. So, I think it really parlays well from, the more personalized you get in your outbound campaigns. What you need from that is very specific data, right? So I'd love to hear a little bit as far as from the cold email or outbound email perspective, what do you see, as far as, getting the best conversion rates possible from an outbound perspective?
Yeah, so I mean that obviously perfectly leads us into this idea of sending highly personalized emails to prospects and fitting it within a cold email campaign. And the more we really personalize that outreach, the more likely someone is to both say, hey, this is a real person and they're sending me something of value, and it's more likely for them to say, you know what, I think that this person could actually solve a problem. Mm-hmm. Because cold outreach, it's cold. It's cold, right? And so obviously we want to warm up that relationship as much as possible by letting them know that we're real. And of course, the way we do that is by really finding out as much information on this person or on this very, very tight segment of people as possible. So that way, when they ultimately receive the message, they're like, hey, yeah, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I think that really kind of dovetails well with that is going back to more traditional outreach strategies, right? So something that I like to do, it may or may not work for you, it's just something that I prefer and I found to work pretty well, is one-on-one messaging. Put in the time for that one-to-one outreach. If it's a critical deal or client that you're looking to close, what I like to do is, if I'm on the subway, I'm going to write the message to this person on the subway. I have 15 seconds. Boom, what am I going to say? Right? And stick with that, right? And that just shows more authenticity. What we tend to see, with a lot of outbound campaigns is these long, lengthy emails about we do this, we do that. No one cares, right? It's like, I solved this problem. I need to talk to you because we can help you accomplish X, Y, and Z. That's a big thing for us. And I think, on your point, with a lot of the outbound funnels that you're creating, it sounds like you're doing the same thing and delivering that value up front and selling later, right?
That's correct. So, one thing that we believe is, get the value first and then sell after. We're thinking of what can we be sharing of value to the prospect that is going to allow them to get a taste, to just get a feel for how we do things. Because again, it's a cold relationship, right? This isn't a referral. This isn't an introduction. They don't know you. Even if you're a big company, they may not know you other than of your company. And so we want to show that we can create value. And so, for us, it's sending a lot of valuable content.
Yeah.
I know you guys also do a lot with content as well.
We do. We use Pulse articles is a big one for us. So when we stay in platform,
so LinkedIn
Pulse articles for a couple reasons. One, it's just a great way to deliver value. You can take existing blog posts and you can repurpose those into a LinkedIn article. Something you want to do as well to take advantage of the traffic you're generating on the eyeballs on those Pulse articles is making sure that you backlink to your blog or additional content. Not only does that give them more resources once they get really interested, but it also allows you to build your retargeting list if you're running an ad campaign as well. So the faster you can get to distributing content, delivering value, and then getting them back to your website to retarget and build that nurturing process with ads, the better your conversion rates are going to be as well. I think, what's your process as far as, follow-up goes? I mean, do you, we see folks, and I've been in, outbound sequences that someone scraped my email and they've been, emailing me every 48 hours for the past 2 weeks. So, what's your typical process as far as, getting that sales meeting? Is there a follow-up process where you deliver just continual value, or when do you get to the point to actually get that appointment scheduled and booked?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, if someone's just non-responsive for a long time, there could be technical reasons. It could be that you're not even getting into their inbox. So I mean, we do ultimately leave it at a certain point. But what we're doing is we're creating nurture sequences for people over a period of time. And what's interesting is that I think one of the things that buyers are weary of is that flash in the pan. So when there's consistency, and again, by providing value, not just nudging them saying, hey, just checking in, right? But actually providing value over a long time, people want solutions. And so if they feel like you're a real person, that you're there for the long run, and that you're providing value, then good things happen.
Yeah, and I also think, to your point, the most important thing to remember for any business is that we're selling to people, right? And so from a psychology standpoint, how do you build that relationship? It's all about relationships, and relationships are what create that conversion, right?
Definitely.
From that sales discussion to becoming a new client. It's because they trust you, they like you, and they understand your value proposition, and you're clear on deliverables. And so, to your point, Mark, the 5 sales meetings per week, I think is an important mindset to have. Forget the 10 to 20, focus on low volume and high conversions.
Good sales, 5 good sales meetings per week, and there's not a salesperson on this planet who can't become really successful with 5 great meetings. Implement these ideas, go make it happen.
Yep.
So there is my interview with Michael Moynihan of Linked Conversions on 5 great ideas to set 5 sales meetings every week. And if you enjoyed this video, then have an awesome free online training on the data-driven approach to help you crush your sales. Just click right here to get registered instantly. Seriously, just click right here. This is an in-depth training that will help you close more sales at higher prices, all while generating more meetings. Also, if you got some value, please like this video below on YouTube, and be sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking my face right here to get access to a new video just like this one each week.